In this video, we are going to analyze the F0 error code and air conditioning units. Let's begin by mentioning that the F0 code may be related to a lack of cooling in the unit or a refrigerant gas leak. However, the activation of this code may also be due to other factors, as we will see later. The system detects a refrigerant gas leak using the values from the temperature sensors. For example, if the temperature sensor value of the evaporator pipe is not low enough after the compressor has been running for a while, the system is likely to indicate the F0 code. Some brands that associate the F0 code directly with a lack of cooling or refrigerant gas leak problems are Olimpo, Lennox, Anwo, Mirage, Gree, Hitachi. Hi. Below, we present the steps to solve the F0 error code when it refers to a refrigerant leak or a cooling detection failure. 1. Turn off the unit and disconnect it from the power supply. Wait a few minutes, turn it back on, and check if the error persists. 2. If the error continues, with the unit turned on in cooling mode, check if the air coming out of the indoor unit is sufficiently cold by placing your hands in front of the air outlet. 3. If the air is sufficiently cold, there is probably no refrigerant leak or lack of cooling, and the problem may be a false alarm. 4. To rule out a false alarm, focus your diagnosis on the evaporator coil temperature sensor, well or evaporator sensor. 5. Check the correct position of the sensor and the condition of the cables that go from the electronic board to the sensor. 6. If the error persists, turn off the unit, disconnect the sensor, clean the connections, and reconnect it. Then, check again if the error still appears. 7. If the issue continues, use a multimeter to measure the sensor's resistance. Turn off the unit, disconnect the sensor, and measure the resistance in the kilo-ohm range. The value should neither be zero nor infinite. 8. By rubbing the sensor with your hand, the resistance on the multimeter should decrease. If you have the sensor resistance table in the equipment manual, compare the obtained values with those in the table. 9. If the error persists, consider replacing the sensor. If the problem continues, it may be related to the electronic board. 10. If the air in step 3 is not cold enough, there may be a refrigerant leak or cooling generation problems. Look for oil stains on the pipes that connect the indoor unit to the outdoor unit and on the coils, as oil often indicates leaks. 11. If you have a clamp meter, measure the current the equipment is consuming and compare it with the normal consumption value RLA. A significant refrigerant leak often reduces the current consumption. 12. Remember that if the equipment has a leak, it must be repaired. If it has run out of refrigerant, it is necessary to perform a vacuum and recharge the system with the amount of refrigerant indicated by the manufacturer. 13. A properly functioning unit with our 410A or our 32 refrigerant should have a working pressure close to 120 psi when turned on. If there is a leak, this value will be lower. 14. There may also be an internal blockage in some pipes, preventing the refrigerant from reaching the indoor unit. Pay attention to the capillary tube. If ice forms or it is excessively cold, this could be a sign of an internal blockage at that point. Check for bent pipes that could restrict refrigerant flow, and verify that the valves in the outdoor unit controlling the refrigerant flow are open.